I want to welcome everyone to another episode of Generational Investors, and I'm that favorite coach of yours, Coach Flo, where we talk stocks and crypto, we talk side hustles and budgeting, we talk how to build up our money where we can ultimately get to financial freedom. That is debt-free. That's the way to be. And so if you haven't checked out my previous episodes of passive income, go back. I got a catalog list of all types of passive incomes. All right, all types of side hustles. And so leave me a comment below and let me know what type of side hustle have you started, or the ones that you want me to share and bring to the platform, because I want this channel to continue to grow where others can be informed, educated, and transformed, because that's the mission of generational investing. All right, generational investors. And if you want to be a part of this army, if you want to be a part of the movement, hit that thumbs up, consider subscribing, share it. I'm on all platforms, TikTok, Instagram, and of course, you already know how I do on YouTube. And so the first one we'll talk about is, how about you start that daycare business? Maybe you love kids, maybe you love toddlers, you love babies, you love them all, okay? And so consider childcare, okay? Childcare, that non-residential facility, provide care for children, classroom setting, bring that classroom setting, that classroom structure to the business that you want to provide. Okay, you have the puzzles, you have the crayons, you have the pencils, the paper, you have the chalkboard, you have all these smart devices that you want to implement in your childcare business. This one you can start, all right? You can start. Or you say, I don't want to do childcare. Let's think about family childcare. Okay, family childcare. This operates in residential home settings. So the apartments, the lofts, townhomes, or your own home, if you reside there, bring all the crayons, bring all the markers, bring all the dry erase boards, bring that material, bring all the manipulators. You got all of it. You got the Miss Rachel, you got it all planned. And bring the education to your home. Why not? You service the babies, you service the toddlers, okay? You want to bring the next generation education and information. That could be you. But before you do decide to go into this particular business, you have to do diligence. You have to do your DD. That's why I always say, research the laws, the requirements. Every state, every city has all type of ramifications, okay, when it comes to going into this business. Make sure that you have the license, okay, not necessarily certifications, but I'm talking about license for your home. I'm talking about that it's safe. That's the thing. Okay, safety first. Number one, always inspect everything. Inspect around your house, in your house. Safety first if you want to do this type of business. All right. And moving on to the medical supply business. We know when it comes to the hospitals, all type of health facilities, this is a well over $1 million business, of course, because healthcare and people always getting sick, always getting injured, or incidents happening. This one right here, you can supply the equipment, ranges from gloves, masks, PPE, all type of aids for the doctors, all health professionals and professionals, the nurses. Okay, so think about these range from a wide way of getting this supply and bringing it to the facilities. This business, you definitely can make a lot of money, but like I always say, go ahead and do your research on what needs to be supplied. All right, look at the inventory, look at the location, look at logistically how you're going to get from point A to point B. All that you have to do your research and go and look and refer and look and ask around and look and just talk to the individuals who need these materials the most. Okay. And like I said, you have to go and see what the supplies as far as the expense. Okay, the expense, because things are getting way too expensive. All right, so go ahead and do your research. Look at how much all these materials going to cost and inventory as far as what is going to be needed for you to get this business underway. Moving to auto repair. That's right. Vehicles break down, wear and tear. But if you good with your hands, if you have a well knowledge on how to fix and repair vehicles and the maintenance on these things, there is no cap limit on how much you can make when you got your own auto repair. So extensive line items, the rent, I gotta pay rent if you at a department or a warehouse that you function out of, equipment, insurance, permits, all these things you have to consider if you're going to go into opening your own auto repair, mobile repair. You got some people who are mobile. That's a plus for those who can't get out the house or the vehicles can't get out the driveway. You have to go to them and service them. So there is money to be made in this particular business. But like I said, make sure you got the equipment for it, because stuff is way expensive. You have the insurance for it and the permit for it. Okay. So if you're certified, that's a plus. But like I said, you just have to make sure you got the equipment for the job. You got to have the insurance for the job. All these things you got to consider, because let's say if you mess up or something happens, you can get sued, and I don't want that for you. Moving on to starting that barbershop business. That's right. I want to give a shout out to all my barbers, all my beauticians, and all my nail tech and nail salon people for keeping us, that's right, clean. I appreciate y'all, because this type of market, you require research. The type of cuts, all type of cuts, research. The full service, the grooming, the nail service, and more. All that requires you to look at what the market and how competitive the market is, because people have all type of prices they're willing to pay. All right, some people can pay the high end to the low end, but I feel like if you provide that quality service, you always going to have customers coming back. So that is something you have to consider when you're pursuing barbershop, nail salon, nail tech, beautician. If you can do a good job and have a reasonable price, you always gonna have business. All right, so that is something to consider when it comes to this type of business. And then we want to close this thing out with the SEO, that is called the search engine optimization. That's right, search engine optimization. This specializes in high demand. These are actually high demand because it helps clients enhance the visibility of products and services. So whatever business, whatever website, whatever concept that you're trying to get out, the SEO, this particular specialist specialize in getting that out for other people to see what type of service and product you're trying to sell. So there's definitely money to be made in this particular space, but you have to be well versed and well knowledge in how to get the business out and how to help the client get the website out and get things published and trademark, all that. It requires research, just like all these other side passive income that I've brought to you today. All right, so I'm working on more passive income going to drop later on this week. You already know how I feel about crypto. I'm bringing that to all my XRP. We'll update on that, what happened with the crypto summit this past week. The artificial intelligence, that space, I'm bringing to you on my next segment. All right, I got some things lined up that I'm going to bring out day by day. I just want to leave you with a word of wisdom. If I cannot leave you nothing else, an old proverb goes by this: Bad company corrupts good morals. That's a Corinthian. That's right. That's in the word, the Bible. Bad company corrupts good morals. So if you are around certain energy, certain people, certain environments, and they're not conducive to your growth and they're leaving you stagnant, they're leaving you aka stuck, it is time for a change. It is time for a change. Consider yourself being around wise people, people who have something going for them, or they're going to chase after something and not after negativity, drama, all types of unhealthy habits, all that. Because you may mean well, but everybody's not your friend. I'm gonna leave you at that. Everybody is not your friend, and they don't want what's best for you. So you have enjoyed this episode. Smash that thumbs up, hit that like, and consider yourself hitting that subscribe. Share with family, friends. We going to 1,000+ subscribers, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.